Everyone, this is Thunder here. So today I'm going to be giving my overall impressions of playing the Final Fantasy XVI demo. Now, when it comes to this, I actually played through the demo about 2 times. So one time I actually, the first time I did it through streaming. So I streamed the first bit of the demo, and then I later on played the combat portion of it and then the entire main thing of it over again off stream, just to get a better idea of how I feel about it. And essentially, to cut the long story short, I really did enjoy the demo a lot. It left a very strong impression on me. I can't wait for the full game to come out here on June 22nd. Now, to just give a little bit of a rundown of what you can expect from playing the demo has two portions to it. So the first portion is technically the first 2 hours or so of the game, and by playing that, you can actually get your save carried over into the full game and pick up where you left off in the demo. Then the other part is a different portion that focuses more on combat, which essentially puts you in like a later portion of the game where you get to essentially just do a lot of combat. There's also a boss fight at the end with a few cutscenes and things like that. So that mainly encompasses that. So in terms of how the story plays out so far I am kind of enjoying it a lot. The first bit of it is a little bit more of world building, I would say, because at the start there is a lot of cutscenes. Like, I don't think this is how the final game will be, but it was like that at the start, and it kind of seemed like it was like that to see, so that way you can get an idea of how the world is, and a little bit of the characters, and a little bit of like about who Clive is and everything like that in this. So when it comes to the characters, Clive does seem like a very interesting character. At the start of the game, it does start you off when he's in his teens, pretty much. Going back to when he was essentially a protector for his brother Joshua, and through that he kind of has a weird dynamic with his family, because at the start it's pretty much made very clear that his mom doesn't really like him very much, mainly because he isn't chosen to be the dominant of one of the summons of the game, the Phoenix. Because I guess in their family line, there's like whoever is chosen to lead their kingdom is the person that wields the Phoenix, and for whatever reason in the game, Clive got rejected by the Phoenix, but his brother got accepted. But it does kind of leave a little bit of a strain, because while Clive is shown to be like a very capable leader and a strong soldier, his brother, on the other hand, is a very shy kind of person from what you see in the first bit of the game, and he's also very sickly too, because you do see him like coughing a lot and, kind of struggling a bit to kind of live up to the expectations of his father and brother when it comes to story. So that's pretty much where I'm going to leave off with story, because I don't really want to say too much, because essentially, this is a demo, and if any of you guys have a PS5, this is something that you can play for yourself, and I don't want to dive too deep into the story, as this is still like the early parts of the game. I kind of want to save more of my thoughts on that when I play the full game. Now, when it comes to the combat, I will say that I did like the combat a lot. It felt very good to play. The only awkward thing at first were the controls, because the way that the buttons were mapped were a little bit awkward at first. Like, for example, the dodge button is set to R1. I'm not really used to having a dodge button set to that, but over time I did get used to it, and it kind of did blend in a little bit more. And when I went through and played the demo a second time, I started to get a bit more of a grasp of how to do a perfect dodge, and things like that, how to kind of get a parry, even though those are a little bit difficult, and things like that. And also as well, when it comes to the combat, While it seems like you don't get like they don't go crazy with the skill trees in this game because it is an action RPG. It did feel like there was a ton of depth to it, switching over to the different icon abilities. Because in this game, essentially, how the combat works is that they can essentially take on the abilities of the different icons or summons in the game. So in it, you get access to Phoenix, Garuda, and Titan. And when it comes to Phoenix, Phoenix kind of seems like a jack of all trades icon. So it's very quick and nimble, can do decent damage, and also has a fairly decent like a phase shift dodge. Garuda kind of seems more set on like giving you speed and doing very quick attacks and combos, and Titan seems more of the tank type of icon, because in it does very slow and heavy damage, but you also do have a block as well that you can use, and if you block and if you time it well with the block, you can also get a parry counter with it also to do some extra damage. So there's a little bit of differences there. It kind of makes me interested to see how the other summons are like for example Ramu and Bahamut. I really want to try those out when the game comes out, because from what I've seen of the trailers, it does look interesting. Now when it comes to gripes so far that I played from the demo, the only major gripe that I'd say that I had playing it was probably at the start. The game did get a little bit tutorial heavy, to the point where it kind of seemed a little bit excessive at points. So for example, it kind of seemed like in the game they kind of made the tutorials under the assumption that people have never played like an action game or even like some video games before, because in my opinion they kind of over explain things. Like for example, they had tutorials in the game that explained how to do a QuickTime event, which I thought was a little bit too much, because I'm like, a QuickTime event in most cases are pretty self-explanatory. You see the button on the screen and you just press the button. I don't really think that needed a tutorial. They've had a tutorial too about how to open doors also, which I'm like, why would we have tutorials about how to open doors? That doesn't seem necessary. But anyways, I digress here. That's pretty much my overall impressions playing the demo so far. I can't wait to actually get my hands on the actual full game here in just under a week. I actually can't believe it's close to a week that this game is coming out. It's crazy how time just flew by, because it feels like just yesterday I was watching the launch trailer for it back during the PS5 reveal trailer, and now we're here to just under a week for the game being out. So yeah, I can't wait to play the full game. Enjoyed the demo a lot. It was very, very fun. If you guys are on the fence about trying out the game or trying out the demo, I'd say give the demo a try to see if it changes your mind about being on the fence about purchasing it, because in my opinion it was very, very excellent. It does give you a pretty good idea of how the game will be to an extent. I don't think it shows everything, but it kind of gives you a pretty decent idea of just like some of the core stuff of how the game will be like. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much everything that I want to talk about here. So if you guys have also played the demo, let me know down in the comments what you guys thought about it. If it changed your opinion, if you're on the fence about getting the game, or if it was the opposite, you know, love to hear the other people's thoughts about playing the game. Also, if you guys are excited just as much as I am to actually play the full game in 16, let me know down in the comments. And also, if you guys do enjoy the video, also feel free to like the video as well, share it around if you guys do enjoy it. And yeah, I will see you guys here next time with more Final Fantasy XVI. Later.